Hi, I hope you're having a good day today. Do you ever have a bad day? I know I do. The main character in our story today had a bad day. His name was Alexander, and the title of our book is Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. It's by Judith Viorst, and it's illustrated by Ray Cruz. I went to sleep with gum in my mouth, and now there's gum in my hair. And when I got out of bed this morning, I tripped on the skateboard. And by mistake, I dropped my sweater in the sink while the water was running. And I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Do you see the skateboard he tripped on? And over here, here's the sweater in the sink. And he's got gum in his hair. Poor Alexander. At breakfast, Anthony found a Corvette Stingray car kit in his breakfast cereal box. And Nick found a junior undercover agent code ring in his breakfast cereal box. But in my breakfast cereal box, all I found was breakfast cereal. I think I'll move to Australia. In the carpool, Mrs. Gibson let Becky have a seat by the car window. Audrey and Elliot got seats by the window too. I said I was being scrunched. I said I was being smushed. I said, if I don't get a seat by the window, I'm going to be car sick. But no one even answered. See that? They're all sitting by the window except for Alexander. I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At school, Mrs. Dickens liked Paul's picture of the sailboat better than my picture of the invisible castle. Do you see Paul's picture right over here with the sailboat? And then there's Alexander, his invisible castle. Did you see it? Of course not. It's invisible. At singing time, the teacher, she said I sang too loud. And at counting time, she said I forgot 16. Who needs 16? I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I could tell because Paul said I wasn't his best friend anymore. He said that Philip Parker was his best friend and that Albert Moyo was his next best friend and that I was only his third best friend. Well, I said, I hope you sit on a tack. And I hope that next time you get a double-decker strawberry ice cream cone, that the ice cream cone part falls off and lands in Australia. Does that ever happen to you? Your best friend says they don't want to be your best friend anymore. There were 2 cupcakes in Philip Parker's lunch bag. And Albert, he got a Hershey bar. And Paul's mother gave him a piece of jelly roll that had little coconut sprinkles on top. Did you see that? Right over here. But guess whose mother forgot to put in the dessert? It was a horrible, terrible, no good, very bad day. That's what it was. Because after school, my mom took us all to the dentist, and Dr. Fields found a cavity just in me. Come back next week, he said, and I'll fix it. Next week, I said, I'm gonna be in Australia. On the way downstairs, the elevator door closed on my foot. And while we were waiting for my mom to go get the car, Anthony made me fall where it was muddy. And then I started crying because of the mud, and Nick said I was a crybaby. See there, his foot's getting hurt. There he is, falling in the mud. And Nick said he was a crybaby, and while I was punching Nick for saying I was a crybaby, my mom came back with the car and scolded me for being muddy and fighting. I was having a horrible, terrible, no good, very bad day. And I told everybody, but no one said anything. So, then we went to the shoe store to buy some sneakers. Anthony chose white ones with blue stripes, and Nick chose red ones with white stripes. I chose blue ones with red stripes. But then the shoe man said, "We're all sold out." They made me buy white ones, plain old white ones. But they can't make me wear them. When we picked up my dad at his office, he said I couldn't play with his copy machine, but I forgot. He also said to watch out for the books on his desk, and I was careful, except for my elbow. He also said, don't fool around with his phone, but I think I called Australia. My dad said, please don't pick him up from work anymore. It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. There were lima beans for supper, and I hate lima beans. There was kissing on TV, and I hate kissing. Look. My bath was too hot, and I got soap in my eyes, and my marble went down the drain. And then I had to wear my railroad pajamas. I hate my railroad pajamas. When I went to bed, Nick took back the pillow he said I could have. And then the Mickey Mouse nightlight burned out, and I bit my tongue. The cat wants to sleep with Anthony, not with me. It has been a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. My mom says some days are like that. Even in Australia. Did you like that story? Alexander had a terrible day, didn't he? I hope you had a good day, though. If you had a day like Alexander's, anything like Alexander's, that would be pretty bad, wouldn't it? But he kind of makes it look like our bad days aren't too bad after all, are they? I hope to see you again soon, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.